D.C., and that's where you find this place, Commanders Field in Landover, Maryland. Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Smith now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw. And they hooked up there for a first down.
Here's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Smith. Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The Washington offense set to take over. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
To the air goes Daniels. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And returns it right back to Samuel. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3rd and 3. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 14, first down, Commanders.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Daniels. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. 9 yards on the first down keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Well, they go play action. Daniels. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Room here to run. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Gino. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Smith. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dietrich Wise running through and dropping him for the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
That is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Brock Bowers, 30 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
6 yards there on the keeper. It's second down. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. This now a 3rd and 4 as they've got it as we resume action. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Daniels looking to throw. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here now, 2nd and 4. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He's got Brown on the out route complete. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Commanders. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out after that last score we just saw. Now 14-7. So a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's really difficult.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
He scored their touchdown earlier, and this had a chance to be another. This secondary scrambling for answers, looking at each other and trying to figure out who is going to put the clamps on this guy because right now he's absolutely shredding them.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Caught by Mayer. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Geno now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw, Smith. Touchdown! Brock Bowers with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders have taken the lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And third, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Running on first down, Eckler. And some space here. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
To throw is Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. Touchdown, Washington. Austin Eckler, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have retaken the lead. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out come the Raiders. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. A quick throw there is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Smith now to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Washington on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Play action. It's Smith. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
Flush. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Out of the gun, Smith. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the 1st down.
To the air again, Smith. This is caught by Tucker. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. To the right side, here's Mayer. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Smith throwing again. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. A shotgun snap for Smith. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Carlson able to put this one through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. Washington going to go on offense one last time in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
2nd down and 8. Robinson with another carry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 74 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
That one caught by Felton. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin, 40 yards. And the Commanders are able to widen their advantage. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. Gay is on for the point after. And with that, the lead is up to 8. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Now, give them credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run, and then executed.
2nd and 9. Now a handoff running through the middle. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 82 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Hands it off out of the gun. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Smith. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't
miss it?
change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Daniels looking to throw. Slings this deep for McLaurin. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
They're giving him plays that fit his talents, and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the better of them last series, forcing a punt. Game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 more there and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Right back to him on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
This 2nd and 4. Now Gino. Short throw caught by Bowers. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now Daniels. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Play action, now it's Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards the pickup, first down Washington.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
To the air goes Daniels. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. Three quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's Washington with the football and the lead as we start the fourth. Give to Robinson on the option. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. 2nd and 11. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So the pitch and catch good for 11. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Off the option, here's Robinson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. They'll run with Robinson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
On the option, here's Eckler. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Brian Robinson Jr., a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, and now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there, ready to go. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the gun, here's Smith. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing is Smith. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Geno now to throw. That is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Daniels. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 7. To throw is Daniels. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now a 2nd and 2. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Smith. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Back to throw, Smith. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs. The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Throwing now is Daniels. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Robinson up the middle. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Again, it's Robinson. And he will have a Commander's first down, and that should just about do it. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road.
but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's Washington getting the victory here. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.